Welcome to Weld.com. Got the cub back here. G.
What's up, OG?
How you doing?
Doing good.
I'm gonna teach you how to do a little fill and cap. A couple weeks ago, we ran this hardwire route, and we were using the positioner here for a rollout. So we stayed stationary. We're welding up here about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we raked this short arc bevel in here and got 100% pin. Now we're going to do subsequent fill passes. Okay, this is schedule 86 inch. We're going to run an 045, the FCAW 7010 XM. What I would like to see happen, I mean, you know, we could really hog down and fill this thing up in one pass, and I don't like doing that. I'd rather go into it and do subsequent fills. So we're going to do 2 passes of fill.
2 passes.
Very little weave. Want this thing to kind of flush up a little bit, leave a little bit of room, and then we'll go back in here and let's put a 2 bead cap in it.
2 beads cap.
Because this is wide enough. I mean, we could sit here and weave it in, but I don't know. I just don't want to do that. I'd rather just do a nice 2 bead stringer cap in here. It'll go fairly quick. Again, we're rolling out. You just need to get comfortable over here. I believe we've got our machine set at somewhere in the neighborhood of 23.5 on the voltage, 260 on wire feed speed. Again, we've got 045. We're running C25, about 25 cubic feet per hour. So I'm going to run a little bit of this and make sure that it's set right. You know, we don't want to get into a lot of spatter. We don't want to get into piping porosity. We may have to change some values. Those are the 2 things that we're looking for as far as settings. And when I ran that route, I was grounded into the quick disconnect wire, and I thought it was kind of fluttering a little bit. Today I'm grounded directly into the stud back there. It'll rotate, but we'll be all right.
Cool. Awesome.
I think we need to get us a exhaust hood over here and plug it in.
All right, I'll get that over here. Yep.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Mike, I'm going to stay up here about 11 o'clock.
All right.
I'm going to say 3/4 stick out.
All right.
And I've got a very slight weave going back and forth. I've already buffed the glass out on the toe of the weld. We really didn't even need to do that. So this will leave room for another fill pass.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that speed alone.
All right. Let's say you're stopped right here. Would you grind this out right here, or just start right back here and run over it?
I'd start real close to the crater.
Right to the
I run
crater?
enough of this stuff. It runs hot enough, blends in.
All right.
I mean, we inspect this visually. If it looks like a great big old cold shoulder, you could touch that with a grinder, but I can assure you that's not one of them.
And I didn't get all the spatter out. Would that burn away? When
Yeah.
right. That's it.
I may, you know, stay up here just a little taller up in here, and I sped this up just a little bit. Again, we're going to go in and put another fill pass in.
All right.
Which will bring it up to, I want to say 3/32.
Gotcha.
Okay.
30 seconds from the top of this.
Right.
All right.
Well, the toe of the weld looks nice. I mean, it's got a good profile, so just start right here. Because when we finish this and we wire wheel it and clean it off, clean the slag off of it, if we need to hit that high spot, we will, just to blend it in. But again, I've run across these thousands of times and they pretty much blend in. No big deal.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, Mike, pull the trigger.
All right. Going hot.
I'm speeding you up a little bit because it looks like you're angling the gun back down the pipe. Shorten up your arc length a little, or your stick out. Keep it just like that. By the way, this wire is very forgiving. roll up onto that right there. Okay.
Awesome. That was fun.
Hey Mike, you remember when we toured the Ferd Corporation in Milwaukee?
Yeah, that's good information.
They gave us some of these encapsulated wire wheels.
Yeah.
These things are cool because as you're using them, these wires don't break down, they don't ravel off. You know how you've been using these and you got wires stuck in your belly and in your jeans and whatnot?
Yeah,
kind
you take it home and you put it in the washing and then your girl yells at you and everything. Yeah, all that stuff.
Sounds kind of personal, Mike. So really, I'm just kind of concentrating on the toes of the weld, knocking this slag back.
Yeah.
Done. We've got a decent profile here. We've got a little bit of spatter, but not bad.
Yeah, but yeah, it looked like a knockoff real easy. I mean, that stuff is forgiving. There's like some movements I shook a little bit too much. I thought it would show up. It looks real good. That's good wire.
Stuff like pouring butter in there.
Yeah,
it really doesn't have a ripple pattern to the weld. You're gonna like this next move.
Sweet.
All right, this last pass I'm gonna put in here. You said you were kind of shaking a little bit. I saw you eating some smoke. I'm feeling really lazy now, so I'm going to use the fixture over here and just kind of rest it in here. It's not tight, it's not clamped, because I want to oscillate this back and forth. I'm going to run a little bit and I'm going to turn it over to you. I think the speed is about right, but again, if I needed to, I could stand here and adjust it, and then once I got it set for sure, I could run the rest of it out. We want to run this pass and leave it slightly low because we're running
two caps.
Yeah, we're going to run a 2-bead cap. So. So again, I'm just moving the wire back and forth about 1/8 of an inch.
All right.
Because I want to leave those edges in there. They're going to be a guide. It's filling up and blending into the toe nicely. I'm not worried about buffing this off. I will go over there and hit that slag where I started. So when you come around and tie into it,
all right.
I've done a lot of these welds where you're sitting at a position here and you've got things organized, and while you're welding along, you can reach underneath here with a file and tap that start where the slag is. But I've also welded through the slag. I mean, I've come up on it and it's done absolutely nothing. It's been a good 100% x-ray. All right, we've got our fill pass in, our second fill pass in, and we're up just below flush. We're using the cheater here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this past center so that I can kind of point my wire back into that toe just a little bit. And I'm going to weave this very, very little. But while I'm doing that, I could adjust this angle in and out, whatever I don't like, and I can adjust my speed. What do you think? I'll put the first pass in, you can do the last one.
All right.
Mike, I'm looking at the toe of the weld on my side to make sure that it runs consistently over the edge. Got my hand on the speed knob, but basically I'm doing nothing other than trying to stay awake. You know what I mean? Turn the wire feed speed down a little bit, but that was a mistake. Mike, I missed an adjustment here a minute ago. I kind of softened up the wire on this a little bit, and that was a mistake because I threw some buckshot, so I had to get after this thing with a file, and then I wire wheeled it. Anyway, I didn't have my pliers sitting here, or I would have pecked this slag off of this start when it came around. So I stopped just short of it. What we're going to do now is we're going to start here, and as it comes around to this part, we're just going to reach over and blend these two beads together, and then we're going to continue on. I'm going to run just a little bit, and then we will clean this start, and that way you won't have to worry about it. When you restart, you can just tie right into it when you're done.
All right.
I have moved our mechanism back over here more in line. So again, your wire angle and stick out and everything is right here.
Awesome.
I've turned the machine. I've made another value adjustment, see if we can't get rid of this spatter a little bit.
All right.
As with the rules of stringer beads, you know, we're going to try to blend in a good third into this bead here and into the toe of the weld. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, I had to, I made yet another value change. These FCAW wires are cool. They're designed to run a little cooler, but you got to remember every machine's different too. So I think that last value change, we got rid of the majority of the spatter.
Yeah, we did.
A couple of blending issues. You see a ridge down through the middle of that. That's where
I should have came over on half.
well, that's where we fixed, and that's where I ran this one here, and you see how they're kind of blended up into the half part of it. This part where you started is nice. You know, you were up into this bead and it doesn't create that hard ridge in the middle of it. I like to see that.
The hard ridge, that creates a what? A crack? It can? Or what's the hard ridge
It's
do?
not a crack. It just
No, it
looks
can?
funny.
Oh, look.
Stressorizer.
Stressorizer.
They're
Okay.
blended. Your toes are blended. You got, I think our ground popped off right there. Got a little porosity. We can fix that. And then when you restarted, now we're out on this side of the pipe and we got that ridge again. So it's just something to get used to. But you can see the benefit of speed, deposition. You get used to this and hit your numbers and you can sit here and crank out some welds.
Gotcha.
I mean, quick. So you can see the benefits of this stuff. It's a fast deposition. You're sitting here at 10, 30, 11 o'clock rolling in there. So it's got good mechanics. You can look up all the specs on it for elongation and Sharpie V-notch. You do know what Sharpie is, don't you? No, we'll discuss that in another video. Hope you found this educational. Man Cub did. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you doing so. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching Weld.com.
Thank you.
Does that bother you?
No.
How about when you're welding?
I can make it good.
Is that going to bother you when you're welding?
I'll be alright. I tough it up.
We're going to test out your ability to concentrate.
Alright.